Who's ready to get a little bit better? If so, say yes in the comments right now. We're going to get a little bit better. And in particular, I'm talking to leaders today. I'm talking to business owners. I'm talking to managers, directors, people that you've got to lead people. And here's a question I get from a lot of my clients who are in that position. How do I identify the ideal team player? They might say it a little bit differently. How do I get good people in my team? Because everybody's slackers and nobody wants to do the work. They say, I hire and I go through a process, but why do I keep getting people that aren't the right kind of team players? Well, Patrick Lencioni wrote a book called The Ideal Team Player, and in it he has 3 qualities of the ideal team player. And if you want to build a team like rock star level team, a team that you love working with, a team that gets results consistently, those team players need to have 3 qualities. Are you ready? And I'll go ahead and tell you. I've worked with multi-billion-dollar global companies. I've done trainings in small businesses. And so this is actually some points that I'm going to drop in here, pulling from that book, and then I'll give you a few more points. These are things that I train teams to build teams to identify those right team players. So point number 1, that team player that's going to be ideal is going to make your team better and stronger and make your life easier. They are going to be humble. They are going to be a humble team member. Now, some of you are like, well, that doesn't sound very business-like. But you all know that the not ideal team player, like, you know what it's like to work with an arrogant team member, a prideful team member, a person who says, it's all about me. A humble employee is someone who is more concerned with the success of the team than with getting credit for his or her contributions. Come on, you guys know this is true. And so you want somebody that is going to say, hey, here's my giftings, here's my abilities. I'm going to serve it to the team. It's not about me. It is about we. It is about us accomplishing something better. Let me read this statement. Oh, I love this statement. People who lack humility in a significant way, they are the ones who demand a disproportionate amount of attention, and they become dangerous to your team. Do not listen. You want somebody who's confident, right? And that's the tension, the balance here, right? You want somebody who is confident in their gifts, their abilities, the value that they bring to the team, but they are willing to bring those to contribute to something bigger than themselves. They're not going to step on people to get what they want. They're going to have the humility to serve and be a part of something bigger than themselves. Number 2, are you ready? Second quality of an ideal team player, they are hungry. They are hungry to be the better version of themselves. They are hungry to grow. They are hungry to make a contribution. They are hungry to make a difference in the world. They are hungry. And they are the kind of people who you don't, like, if you have a hungry person on your team, you don't have to tell them what to do 5 times. You don't have to ask them to fill the gap. They actually volunteer to fill the gap. They'll volunteer to take on extra responsibilities. They'll volunteer to do something that's not in their job description because they are hungry to grow and to become the best version of themselves, to bring the most contribution that they possibly can. You know what the opposite of this looks like, right? They're the person that you got to repeat your instructions 5 times. They'll come to an impasse and they'll come back to you and keep saying, well, now what? Well, now what? Well, now what? Another great book you might want to check out if you have people like that is Linchpin by Seth Godin. Oh my goodness, your whole life might change if you get a team built full of linchpin thinkers. Linchpin thinkers are also hungry leaders. So if they're hungry, they're going to be self-motivated. They're going to be diligent. Those are the kind of people you want on your team because they're going to make your life easier and help you accomplish your vision. And then finally, the last quality of an ideal team player is that they are smart. Now, we're not talking about intelligence here necessarily. We're talking about intelligence, but a specific kind. We don't need degrees. We don't need letters after their name. They don't need to have gone to Harvard. The kind of smarts that you need most in your ideal team player is people smart. They are smart in how they lead people, how they deal with people, how they resolve conflict. The people that are going to cause you the most headaches are the people that, and here's the thing. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I'll go ahead and say this. The thing is, if they are humble and they are hungry, but they are people stupid, what's going to happen? They're hungry. They're going to go after it. They're going to get it. They're humble, like, hey, like, I don't want to step on everybody else. I'm willing to be part of the team. But they lack the people intelligence, the emotional intelligence, the EQ to work with other people in a healthy way. It is not going to turn out well because they're going to leave a trail of bodies in the wake. They're going to be hungry going after. They're going to be humble, not need the accolades, but they're going to hurt people and they're going to bring dysfunction into your team. So you want people that are humble, that are hungry, that are smart, that they have good judgment in how they communicate with other people, right? And again, it's not enough to have one or even two out of the three. They need to be hungry, humble, and people smart, because if you have any one of those lacking, it will create significant dysfunction, significant issues in your organization. For instance, if they're humble and hungry, but not smart, they may accomplish a great deal with leaving a trail of interpersonal destruction. I just gave you that one. Again, I'm kind of pulling from these notes. I'm trying to pour into you in 10 minutes, what usually I would take 45 minutes to teach in a leadership session training. If they are smart and humble but lack hunger, they will frustrate team members because they're only going to do what is expected, the minimum amount expected. And are you identifying some people on your team right now? Do not drop their name in the comments, please. That would be bad. And finally, if they are hungry and smart but they lack humility, they can have a devastating impact on the team, because this type of person, oh man, I've been on these teams. They present themselves as a great team player, but really, they're only in it for themselves. And they'll say what they need to, and they'll look good in a meeting, and they'll nod their head and smile, but they are on a agenda to get whatever they want at the expense of everyone else. And so you need all of them. So how do you, those are the three ideal qualities, or three qualities of an ideal team player. Maybe you're watching this. Let's flip over it a little bit. How do you become an ideal team player? Can I give you I'll give you four real quick. 4 ways that you can become an ideal team player. And by the way, leaders, if you create an environment where these 4 things are celebrated, you get what you celebrate. They're going to put that quote on the screen because it's so true. You get what you celebrate. So what should you celebrate in your culture in order to develop more ideal team players? Number 1, celebrate intentionality. Listen, don't hope to grow. Plan to grow. You don't just grow because you said you want to. You grow because of what you do. So read the books, listen to the podcast, put yourself in an environment, be intentional. Whoa, got carried away there. Be intentional about becoming that ideal team player. As a leader, celebrate people that are being intentional, that are saying, hey, can I have a day off so I can go to this conference and become a better contributor to our team? Number 2, increase your self-awareness. I believe I've heard Tony Robbins say self-awareness is one of the greatest determining factors of success. If you lack self-awareness, you won't be able to see your blind spots. Now, we've all got blind spots, but we can all increase our visibility of ourselves to really see yourself as you are. So increase your self-awareness. How do you do that? You do the deep work. Just did a video about that one not long ago. You can go back if you missed it. Do the deep work. Surround yourself with high-level people, high-level thinkers who you give permission to speak into your life, to hold you accountable, to help you see what you cannot see. So increase your self-awareness. Number 3, consistency. You got to be consistent. You can't just grow some of the time. You got to grow all the time. You can't just be people smart when you feel like it. You have to be people smart when you don't feel like it. You might want to read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a classic by Dale Carnegie. It helps you develop that people smarts in a consistent way, right? And so you need to be consistent in how you show up, consistent in doing the work. It cannot be occasional and sporadic. It must be consistent. And then finally, how do you become an ideal player, or what do you need to celebrate? How do you become an ideal team player? You need to see it and believe it. Is that a little woo-woo-y for some of you? Listen. What you see, you're going to create. What you visualize in your life, you're going to create. I was just listening yesterday to the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. And there's one particular chapter, or it's like first or second chapter, blowing my mind about the metaphysical realities of the way God created the universe, that, man, the power we have in our mind to see, to visualize it. When you see it and believe, when you see yourself becoming that ideal team player, you're going to bring a greater contribution to your organization and to the world. So see it and believe it. See yourself leading at high level. See yourself showing up consistently with energy, with contribution. See it and believe it, and then you can create it. Listen, you want to be a great leader, be humble, be hungry, be people smart, and celebrate the things that create that culture. I hope this served you. Tell me in the comments right now, which one of these points did you just need to grab hold of? Maybe one of those first 3 points you needed to say, I need to sharpen myself on one of those. Maybe I need to work on that humility. Maybe I haven't been hungry enough. Maybe I need to increase my EQ so I can lead better. So drop a comment. Tell me what you pulled away from this. Until next time, this is where you should get off this video and go out there and give your greatness to the world, because somebody needs what's on the inside of you. I love you, people. I'll see you next time.